I've been asked to share about my recent journey of sharing my faith with my friend Cindy. A few months before Cindy, I came to the realization that I hadn't been sharing my faith regularly, and I began asking Jesus to show me why. He helped me realize that the reason was that I had very little love in my heart for others and little concern for where they were spiritually. I was busy with my life and didn't have much time for those who didn't know Jesus. That was painful for me to hear. I asked God for forgiveness and for Him to change my heart. It was some time after that I met Cindy at the swimming pool. We began chatting, and I discovered that she was new in town and she didn't know anyone. I was struck with how lonely that would be, and my heart went out to her. I found myself inviting her to our mom's time out, and then later to a park where her girls could play with my granddaughters. I felt a connection with Cindy and knew that I needed to be praying for her and keeping in touch. We met on and off throughout the year, and during those visits, I was able to share with her some of the struggles that I've been through and how Jesus has been with me, encouraging me, loving me, healing me, and strengthening me. She listened politely, but never seemed to be that interested. So I just kept praying for her and loving her. After some time, during another visit, she started opening up to me about the hard things in her life, and I just listened. God was showing me at that time that my job wasn't to fix her, but to pray for her and simply love her. Then one day, we were in our backyard, and the topic of faith in God came up again. This time, Cindy started to ask questions, really good questions. She had lots of concerns about religion and how I could know that God is really alive and how He could love her in a personal way. It seemed actually easy to share with her because I was just answering her questions. I knew God was speaking through me and was able to share with her that He came to this earth for her because He loved her. He lived a sinless life and then died on the cross for every sin she has ever done, along with every other person on this planet. He took our sin onto Himself, the sin that separates us from Him because He is a holy God, and died with our sin. He paid the penalty that was absolutely necessary. Then He rose again to new life so that we can have that new life along with Him. All we needed to do was to ask for His forgiveness for our sin, accept this gift from Him, and commit to live for Him in the days to come. Cindy listened, and I could see the wheels turning. I knew that she was trying to process everything I had just told her, so I just asked if I could pray for her. I could sense that her heart was starting to soften as I prayed. It wasn't until after the first lockdown of COVID, when we were able to start up church and life groups again, that she agreed to come and check it out. She has hardly missed 1 week since. She seemed like a sponge soaking up God's truth there and as well in church as she started to come each Sunday. It was in one of those church services where she decided to follow Jesus and give Him her whole heart. Life groups has been and continues to be an awesome opportunity for her to ask more questions in a relaxed environment and hear from others who are both new and mature in their faith. It's been so exciting to see her grow in her new faith as she learns to trust Jesus. I am completely humbled that I got to be part of her journey, and I'm amazed at what Jesus is doing in her. I am now pumped about sharing my faith. Being part of Cindy's spiritual journey has given my spiritual life new energy and a deep joy in my heart that I didn't know was possible. It's also challenged and strengthened the others in our life group. I've realized through this experience that sharing your faith doesn't have to be hard. I'm sure I made a few mistakes, but I had the desire and God honored that. I think there is a place to learn about how to share our faith, but I also think that God can use you just where you are and with the tools that you have, even if you don't have it all figured out. The Holy Spirit was the one who set up the whole thing and gave me the love I needed and the ideas of how to share his love, and then in the end, the words. All he wanted from me was a willing heart, totally surrendered and obedient to what he was asking me to do. I love that if God is asking you to do something like share your faith, then he is going to give you the power to do that. He does the heavy lifting. Acts 1:8 says, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and you will be my witnesses, telling people about me everywhere in Jerusalem, throughout Judea, in Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." Right now, my Jerusalem is Moose Jaw. My prayer going forward could be summed up with a verse found in Colossians 4, verses 2 to 6. Be wise in the way you act towards outsiders, making the most of every opportunity. Let your conversations be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone.